Good afternoon, and today's class will start with the stone masonry, and this is in the unit 4. And in this today's class, we are going to be discussing about that what is meant by the stone masonry, and what are the materials used for the stone masonry, and what are the different types of the stone masonry. So that will be available to use into the construction. So the first one is for the stone masonry. The prerequisite is that the mortar. So without that, the mortar, if you under, if you are understanding the mortar, then we can go for the stone masonry or the brick masonry. Either the stone masonry for the brick masonry. Prerequisite is to understand the principles and materials and the concepts of the mortar. Once you are understanding that the mortar, then we'll go for the stone masonry. We can able to easily understand stone masonry as well as the brick masonry itself. Then, so what is meant by the stone masonry? So here important thing is that the stone masonry, it will be having that the two words will be there. So it will be combination of stone as well as the masonry work we are going to be carried out. So here the term itself is going to be giving as meaning your masonry work is going to be carried out by stone as well as the mortar. So this is a very simple definition to understand that the stone masonry. One is the material used for the stone masonry is stone, and other one is the material used for the stone masonry is mortar. So then so where this stone masonry we can able to use generally. So the stone masonry we are going to be using basically start with the foundation. So first we are going to be using in the foundation, then we will use in the floors, is that is the construction of the flooring or the construction of the floors. Then we will use in the walls, then we will use in the columns, then we will use the retaining walls. Retaining walls in these areas we are preferably we are going to be using the stone masonry. So we are going to be using the stone masonry. So now we'll go one by one. This is about the so review of that. What is the stone masonry? What are the materials you are using stone masonry? So then we'll go for what are the different types of the stone masonry that we are going to be using into the construction. So first already we discussed the stone masonry. The stone masonry is a type of building masonry construction that uses the stones and mortar. Already I define you that it will be combination of stone as well as the mortar. The mortar may be, we are going to be using the lime or the cement mortar. Generally, we are going to be using the stone because it is going to be hard and durable. Always we have to be used that the masonry, the mortar is that the lime or as well as the cement mortar we are going to be using. So where we will use this stone masonry, the construction techniques is used for building foundation, already we discussed, floors, retaining walls, arches, walls, and columns. So I forgotten that arches also is one of the area we will go for the construction of the stone masonry. Remaining foundation we will use floors and retaining walls and columns. Then what type of rocks or what of the stones has to be suitable for the construction is natural rocks. Almost all the rocks is going to be coming from nature. We know that the natural classification is the igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rock. And depending upon that, the type of the construction and depending upon the load that is going to be taken care by the masonry work, so we have to be choose that it is going to be coming from igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic. Always, preferably, we are going to be using for igneous rocks because it is going to be strong, hard, and durable. So that's why we'll go for the igneous rocks rather than sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. These natural rocks are cut and dressed into the proper shape in order to use it in masonry construction. Because by nature we are able to extract it, and then we have to go for required size and shape that we are going to be doing is known as the dressing of the stones. So that unit 1 itself we discuss. Once again we'll go for the revision class in the dressing of the stones. We will discuss the what is meant by the dressing of the stones. Means dressing of the stones is that so for the required size and shape we had to be made it that the natural available rock or the stone. So then that is going to be called as dressing of the stone. Then the last point we have to be observed is that one durable and strong. Whatever you are going to be using that the stone or the rock, that will be durable and strong, that will be used for the masonry work. Then the materials used for stone masonry, stones and mortar. Then what is the type of the stones and what are the characteristics of the stones we had to understand. So that the characteristics of the stones that we are going to be using for the stone masonry work is first characteristic we have to be follow is going to be called as a hard. It has to be satisfied, hard, tough, and free from cracks and holes or the cavities itself. Always, as any building material, we are going for the construction. Always, it has to be fit the requirement or fulfill the requirement is that hard, tough, and durable. So this is three important characteristics that has to be fulfilled. Then we say that the very good building material used for the construction. The selection of stone for particular work is dependent on the availability of the stone and importance of the structure. Always, I have to go for stone masonry or I have to go for brick masonry. That is depending upon the type of the work and availability of the ingredients or availability of the stone or the rocks. If the stone or the rocks are abundance, then we will go for the stone masonry rather than brick masonry. If the bricks are available in abundance and as a cheap and it will be fulfill the requirements, then we will go for the brick masonry. So that is, so we had to fulfill the requirement as well as, and also we had to see that the availability of the material. If the availability of the material is abundance and by nature itself it is going to be available, automatically it is going to be cheaper and we can able to use it in the construction. Finally, our cost of construction is going to be reduces and we can say that it is going to be economical construction itself. The common stones used for masonry construction are limestone, sandstone, granite, marble, and laterite. These are the stones that we are going to be using for the masonry work. So always we had to go for the strongest to the weakest. That is depending upon what the type of construction we are going for, what type of construction and what are the loads that is going to be taken care of that one. Based on that one, we are going to be choosing that the stone. So then the mortar, the second component material we are going to be using in the stone masonry is the mortar. Obviously, that is going to be called as mortar will be having that the binding and with the cement or lime with sand and water that already we discussed that the mortars are the lime or cement or mud or surki mortar or the other type of the mortars, yeah, the gauged mortar, different type of the mortars are there. But basically, we are going for the stone masonry work means it is heavy construction. Then we will use that the mortar is first preference is going to be giving to that the cement and second preference is going to be giving to the lime. But always nowadays we are going for the stone masonry means so we are going for the cement mortar is going to be strong and durable and it hardens once it is going to set and it is going to be hardens and it is going to be very high very stronger one. So that's why we are going to be using that the cement mortar. So the mixed formula is uniform in nature. And what are the factors that has to be to go for the selection of the mortar of the masonry is strength already. The first point we had to fulfill is the strength, color of the stone, the loads coming onto the structure. So this is the main point that we have to be considered while you are going for the selecting of the mortar for the masonry work. And then so this is about what is the stone and what are the types of the mortar that we are going to be using for the stone masonry construction. These are the two ingredients or two materials that we are going to be using for the stone masonry. Then the stone masonry is going to be classified into that there are the two types. One is rubble masonry and other one is going to be called as ashlar masonry. So what are rubble masonry and ashlar masonry? And once again, the rubble masonry and ashlar masonry is going to be classified depending upon that what is the type of the construction we have to be taken care of that one. Rubble masonry is going to be classified into the random rubble masonry, square rubble masonry, and dry rubble masonry. Similarly, ashlar masonry is going to be called a fine, random coarse, or rough tool, and quarry faced one, and chamfered one. So these are the different types of the ashlar masonry, different types of the rubble masonry. So first we will go by one. What is meant by the rubble masonry and what are the various classifications are there in the rubble masonry. So rubble masonry, the term itself is going to be giving as meaning. You can see that the rubble masonry will be undressed and roughly dressed. Undressed or the roughly dressed stone that are laid in suitable mortar is going to be called as rubble masonry. The simple definition is that as it is, we are going to be taking from the quarry or we taking from the nature and we had to be put into the construction of the masonry that we are going to be called as rubble masonry itself. We are not doing any dressing or we are not doing any size and shape requirement. Directly we can use as it is and we had to fill up with the various joints that we are going to be provided to make sure that the masonry is going to be completed and the masonry, your stone masonry work is going to be giving a pleasing appearance and the good appearance. So that we are going to be called as rubble masonry. In this masonry, the joints are not of uniform thickness because we are going to be using different sizes. Obviously, the joints are also is going to be not uniform thickness. They are divided into that random rubble masonry, RRM, squared rubble masonry, SRM, and dry rubble masonry, DRM. So they are the two types of. Please keep it mute. So the RRM, random rubble masonry, square rubble masonry, and dry rubble masonry. And the other one I already told, ashlar masonry. There is going to be opposite, quite opposite to that your rubble masonry itself. In rubble masonry, directly as it is, we had to be taken the stone and we had to be go for the construction of a masonry work. Here in the ashlar masonry, we are going for the finely dressed stones. So as per the requirement, we had to be make sure that size and shape is going to be mandatory while you are going for the ashlar masonry. Obviously, we are going to be using cement or the lime mortar. Somebody using once again the earphone, please keep it in mute. Please keep it in mute. So the ashlar masonry will be having that the finely dressed stones. So then we are going to be called a ashlar masonry. So this is we are going to be using that for the architectural purposes itself. So here the joints also is going to be uniform because the header or the structure courses will be uniform. Joints are all the joints are regular, thin, and have uniform thickness. So this is the advantage while you are going for the ashlar masonry, such that it is going to reflecting onto that the total cost of construction also. If you go for the rubble masonry, it will be cheaper one. And if you go for ashlar masonry, so a lot of skilled workers has to be used for this masonry. So definitely it will be increasing the cost of the construction while you are going for the dressing of the stones depending upon the requirement, size and shape. So that's the reason ashlar masonry will be a costlier or the expensive one when compared to that you say that the rubble masonry itself. The suitability, the masonry is used for heavy structures, architectural buildings, high piers and abutments of the bridges. This is we are going to be using ashlar masonry, or even you are going for the residential buildings or high-rise buildings also we are going to be using that the ashlar masonry. Depending upon the purpose and depending upon that the architectural beauty, we are going for the ashlar masonry. And the previous one already we saw that there are the two types of the masonries. One is rubble masonry, another one is going to be called ashlar masonry. And rubble masonry is going to be classified into three types. Already we discussed. One is random rubble masonry, and square dressed one, and dry rubble masonry. Now we will go for the once again to that the rubble masonry. In that first subdivision or the subclassification is random rubble masonry, RRM. So what is the RRM, random rubble masonry? So random rubble masonry is that, so rubble masonry having the characteristic is that one undressed one. So directly take it from the quarry and we are going to keep it for the use of the masonry construction itself. So here similarly, random rubble masonry is randomly either undressed or hammer dressed stones are used, is called random rubble masonry. Randomly we are going to take it up and some of the stones is going to be hammer dressed. With the hammer we are going to be make sure that edges is going to be make it to the fine one, and we have to use it into the construction. That is we are going to call a random rubble masonry. Remaining portion as it is, we are going to take it from the quarry directly, and then we have to use it into the construction. That's why random rubble masonry. So the only half of the part or some of the stones we are going to be doing the dressing, that is with the hammer dressing, not the neatly dressed one. Hammer dressed one, we know that one is not going to be proper. Hammer dressed one, so according to that the requirement we are going to be doing is we are going to call it random rubble masonry. So the further random rubble masonry is going to be once again is going to be classified into coarser one and uncoarsed one. Coarsed one means we are going to be putting into that appropriate manner, header or the structure wheel. Uncoarsed means depending upon that one. Sometimes we'll keep widthwise, sometimes we'll keep lengthwise. In any direction and any length we can keep it. That is going to be called as uncoased one. Coased one means systematic manner. Throughout the layer, throughout the length or the width, we are going to be provided with the lengthwise or the widthwise in a proper direction and proper thickness. We are going to be provided is going to be called as coased masonry in general. Uncoased masonry is that so in different directions or different manner we are going to be keeping, as we are going to be called a zigzag manner. We are going to be keeping one is length and another one is width direction. We are going to be keeping that the stone and we are to be completing that the masonry work. That is going to be called as uncoased one. Either you are going for ashlar masonry or you are going for the rubble masonry. Coased and uncoased are the two basic things. So coased one is systematic manner and uncoased one is going to be called, the term itself is going to be giving as meaning that so the not in a systematic manner, in zigzag manner we are going to be keeping. This is about the uncoased random rubble masonry. So here what we are going to be doing is the construction walls for the low height. In case of ordinary buildings, this is going to be used uncoased one. So means the random rubble masonry in which stones are laid without forming courses is known as uncoased random rubble masonry. So what we are going to be doing is, so this is roughest and cheapest type of masonry and is of varying appearance. Here different sizes and shapes of the stones that we are going to be using into the construction is uncoased random rubble masonry. So that is we are going to be called as the uncoased random rubble masonry. This is also nowadays we are going to be using for one of the architectural purposes, for architectural beauty also. Uncoased also is going to be the fashion nowadays. We can able to use, go for the type of stone. So the random rubble, uncoased random rubble masonry, you can able to see that the picture. We can see that the picture we have see that the different directions, lengthwise and widthwise, they are going to be keeping the stones with the mortar, and we are going to be completing that the entire course or entire the length and width of the wall. We are going to be completing. Is going to be called as random uncoased rubble masonry. Then opposite to one, the contrary to that one is going to be called a coased random rubble masonry. So this is here we are going to be keeping either, we are not going to be dressing, but in one direction, is either the length direction or the width direction of the stone. We have to be keep it, and we are going to be aligning proper direction, then we are going to be called as coased random rubble masonry. Already I told you that coased means in a systematic manner. If you take that the any component, we are having the three dimensions will be there: length, width, and depth, or the height will be there. So if you are going to be keeping length direction of the stone, or you are going to be keeping width direction of the stone, width direction, either length and height, or we are going to be provided width or the height. These are the two ways only we are going to be keeping the stone or the brick in case of the masonry. If we are going to be keeping length and height, or the width and height, and complete layer, so then the complete line we are going to be aligning in such a direction, then it is going to be called as coased one. The coased one, we are going to be keeping length with the height or width with the height throughout the layer, throughout the length or throughout the width we are going to be keeping, and it is going to be jointed together by the joints we are going to provide. Because if you take that any size of the brick or any size of the stone, it doesn't have any meters, 1 meter, 2 meter, or 3 meter long length, we are not able to get it. Then obviously we require that so each piece of the stone or the brick we are going to be jointed together by joint. Always joints is going to be preferable, and all the joints we are going to be filling with the appropriate appropriate mortar we are going to be filling, and joints is going to be completed. Because joints, we know that the weakest parts in a construction, that's why we are going to be maintaining the proper joints also by using either any of the masonry work, any of the rubble masonry or any of the ashlar masonry. Where we will use this CRRM. CRRM means coarse random rubble masonry. This step is commonly employed in the construction of public buildings, because we are going to be looking very beautiful in one direction, either length direction, length and height, or width and height we are going to. So that's why public buildings, abutments of your bridges, residential buildings, and piers of ordinary bridges. So in the piers are the abutments that are going to be component parts of your bridge structure. In the bridges we are going to be provided, and in addition to that one, public buildings also we are going to be using this type of CRRM, this type of masonry, coased random rubble masonry. Earlier one uncoased one, this is going to be called as coased random rubble masonry. So in coased random rubble masonry construction, the stones in a particular course are an equal height. Height will be equal. The stones hence used possesses different sizes. In this type, all the courses do not have the same height. Sometimes it is not going to be same height, but almost we are going to provide an average height we are going to be provided, and we have to be complete that the masonry work. So this is, we can able to see that the elevation of plan and elevation of the coastal rubble masonry. We can see that, so the three pictures is going to be giving us that the coastal rubble masonry, how we are going to be built. Then the next one is going to be called a square uncoastal rubble masonry. Square means the term itself is going to be giving the meaning that you are going to be making that the stone into the square form, making that the stone into the square form, and you have to be keep it in appropriate direction. Then it is going to be called a coast one. If it is not going to be keeping in appropriate direction, then it is going to be called an uncoasted one. Square uncoasted rubble masonry. Square rubble masonry. So the first one is random rubble masonry, then is going to be square rubble masonry, and third one is going to be called a dry rubble masonry. These are the three classifications in the rubble masonry. One is random rubble masonry, other one is going to be called a square rubble masonry, third one is going to be called a dry rubble masonry. So already we discussed the random rubble masonry, RRM. Now we come to that the square rubble masonry, in that uncoasted one. Uncoasted one means in the sizes will be different. Size is going to be different and thickness is going to be different. More number of joints will be required. That is we are going to be called as uncoasted one. Here the stones are made roughly square. We can able to see that roughly square shape and used in the construction. That's why we are going to be called as square rubble masonry. And we are going from the different directions, either length or width of the stone. We are going to keep it in one layer. So then we are going to be called as uncoasted one. Larger stones are used as squares. Chips are not used as bedding. The facing stones are provided hammered dresser finish. With the hammered dresser finish, we can able to do it. So then the square rubble masonry will be coasted square and uncoasted one. Already I told you that square, uncoasted one and coasted one. So very simple. So difference is that one in uncoasted one, in zigzag way direction we are going to provide it. In coasted one, any one direction, length with height or width with height we are going to be provided. So this is about, and here the main objective is that one, your stone will be a square, appropriately square in size, because while you are going for hammer dresser one, because rubble masonry itself means we are going for hammer dressed one. Hammer dressed one will be not having that the appropriate edges. Edges will be not appropriate. So because of the hammer dressed, so it will be having approximately square, not the perfectly square is possible. Approximately square shape we are going to be using in the coasted one and as well as uncoasted one. So this is about that the how we are going for coasted square rubble masonry. The square rubble masonry in which chisel dressed stones laid in courses is called coarse square rubble masonry. This is superior variety of rubble masonry. Applications where we are going to be used for construction public buildings, hospitals, schools, all we are going to be using this type of masonry. Markets, modern residential buildings, etc. Uncoased one. The square rubble masonry which hammer dressed stones are laid without making courses is called uncoased square rubble masonry. It consists of stones which are squared in all joints and beds in hammer dressing. All the stones to be laid for different sizes. Different sizes, we are going to be keeping it in the uncoasted one. But in the coasted one, the same sizes of the stones, we are going to be keep it, and we are going to be completing that the masonry work with appropriate joints is going to be called as coasted one. Here, two things is going to be, you have to be remember is that one. So the size of the stone will be a square, approximately square. And in the coastal one, we are going for the appropriate direction. In uncoasted one is not in the appropriate because different sizes we are going to be take it out. More number of joints we are going to be using. So this is about that the square rubble masonry. Last one we are going for DRM. This is the diagram is going to be showing you that square uncoasted rubble masonry. Uncoasted one. We can able to see that one is length direction and another one is going to be called width direction. In elevation we can able to see that one. In plan also we can able to see that one section. In elevation so easily we can able to finally identify that one is lengthwise and another one is widthwise, or some of them are completely lengthwise. In between we are going to provide widthwise direction itself. So then dry rubble masonry. This is the type in the rubble masonry. Rubble masonry, the last type. Dry rubble masonry. Here we are not going to be using mortar. In previous case, if you take that the square rubble masonry and if you take that the random rubble masonry (RRM), we are taking the mortar for filling up of the joints itself. But here, this is only the one characteristic for the dry rubble masonry is that. So the rubble masonry in which stones are laid without using any mortar is called dry rubble masonry, or sometimes shortly as dry stones. So we are going to be keeping we are going to be keeping all the stones in different directions, and we have to be making the complete of the construction side by side. We have to be keep it, and we have to be pressed it. So that is we are going to be called as dry rubble masonry. It is an ordinary masonry and is recommended for constructing walls of height not more than 6 meters. Very less height we are going to be doing. Particularly, we can able to see that this type of dry rubble masonry, we can able to see that for the canal abutments and canal lining works, we are going to be doing that the dry rubble masonry. Here, the characteristic is that the mortar is not going to be using. We are going to be placing that the stones, and to make sure that there is no silting is going to be occur for the canals are the side slopes we are going to be provided. So it is used for pitching the earthen dams and as well the canal slopes. Already I told you that it is used for pitching the earthen dams. Earthen dams means dams we are going to provide with the earth, and then above that one we are going for that the lining has to be done by, so your stones we are going to be using, and as well as canal slopes for the water carrying. Canal means is going to be naturally the water is going to be take it out, so carrying that one. Side slopes we are going to be provided with the by the stone pitching, or the stones we are going to be provided. There we are not going to be using mortar, just pressed out, and we can able to complete it, the construction. That's why dry rubble masonry we are going to be using in the canals. Mainly we are going to be earthen dams and canals. We are not going to be using for your any building constructions. Either previous one RRM, random rubble masonry, as well as we are going for square rubble masonry, we are going to be using for the building constructions. So then this is the picture is going to be, we can able to see that one dry rubble masonry, we can able to understand easily that. So for the dam as well as the earthen dam, or otherwise we are going for the canal linings, we are going to be using for the, you can able to see that there is no mortar, just simply we are going to be inserting, and interlocking is going to be provided with different sizes, because it has to be completed depending upon the interlocking of different sizes. So then it is going to be arrangement is going to be completed, is going to be called as dry rubble masonry. So then the second part is going to be called as ashlar masonry. So in the ashlar masonry is opposite, or the quite opposite, converse to that the rubble masonry. Rubble masonry is not the dressed one. Here we are going to be ashlar masonry. We have to be used that the stones will be dressed one. So using accurately dressed stones that possesses uniform and fine joints. So that is the peculiar characteristic of ashlar masonry. We have to be used that the dressed stones. Depending upon the requirement, we are going to be sizing and shape. Yeah, also we have to make it by using that the various instruments. We have to make sure that it is going to be the perfect joints, or the perfect edges. We have to be prepare the stones from the quarry, and we have to be use it in the construction is known as the ashlar masonry. Then what are the different types of the ashlar masonry? Ashlar fine masonry, ashlar black in coarse, ashlar chamfered masonry, ashlar rough tool masonry, rock or quarry faced masonry. Ashlar fine masonry. First we will go for the ashlar fine masonry. So the ashlar fine masonry, the term itself is going to be giving you meaning that uniform size and shape, almost rectangular in shape, because square means it will be a smaller one. That's why we have to go for rectangular. Then we can able to get that larger width of the stone, and we can able to more number of stones we are going to be using. Then it is going to be deleted for the joint number of joints. We can able to reduce the number of joints. We are going for rectangular in shape. Obviously, we are going to be reducing that the number of joints. That is the main purpose or the objective. We are going for ashlar fine masonry, uniform size and shape, and we have to put it into the approximately we have to go for the rectangular in shape, and you are going to be dressed one. This shape of hands provide perfect horizontal and vertical joints with adjacent stones. Ashlar fine masonry construction is very costly, because we are going for skilled labor. We have to be do that sizing and shaping. Obviously, we require that the skilled labor, and this is going to be reflecting onto that the cost of the construction, total cost of the construction. This is about ashlar fine masonry. Ashlar rough masonry. Here the term itself is rough, means appropriately we are not going to spending more time on size and shaping. Size and shaping we are not going to spend more time. While you are going for fine masonry, ashlar fine, we are going to spending more time on the sizing and shaping, means dressing. We have to be more time we are going to be used for the dressing, but here the less time. This type has stones whose sides are finely chiseled dressed. Here chisel dressed one we are going to be doing. Previous one is going to be called a hammer dressed one. Now chisel dressed, and the face of the stones is made rough by means of tools. Various tools we are going to be using, and then if it is rough, automatically joint we can able to do is also is going to be very easy. and hard and durable. The joint itself is going to be hard and durable. Then it is going to be called as ashlar rough masonry. So rough masonry, ashlar rough masonry doesn't require any skilled labor. But if you go for ashlar fine masonry, we are going for dressing of the stones will be appropriate, sizing and shaping will be more precautions has to be taken. Then we have to be go for the skilled labor. But here is, so the skilled labor is not required. So then you can able to see that ashlar fine and ashlar rough, how it will be there. This picture is going to be giving you that ashlar fine, almost a skilled one. We can able to see that layer by layer how the masonry work is going to be completed by using that the dressing of the stones. Here in ashlar rough, so very less dressing is done, and whatever the sizes is going to be available, that we are going to keep it, and you make sure that alignment is going to be perfect in direction, and the joints is going to provide with the appropriate mortar. So that is about the ashlar rough masonry as well as ashlar fine masonry. Then next we'll go for the third one is rock and quarry festival. So here there are the two terms we are going to use, rock and quarry one. Directly the rock is going to be taken from the natural occurring material, and then so the dressed one is going to be called as from the quarry. From the quarry we had to be extracted and dressed one. Both we are going to be using. Both the combinations we are going to be. Otherwise you can say that rough and fine. First one is going to be called as rough. The first one is already we discussed about ashlar fine. Second one we had we see that ashlar rough one. Both we are going to combine together. We are going to call as third one, rock and quarry festival. This masonry has a 25 mm wide strip made by chisel placed around the perimeter of every stone. The remaining portion of the face is left in the same frame as it is received. As it is, how we are going to be getting from the masonry, we are going to be take it out and we are going to be doing.